Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. We finally have some Star Rail content that I can watch. I've actually been waiting for this, but evidently they delayed it because there was an earthquake, I think. So obviously very good reason to delay. It did, however, come out at like midnight or something last night, so I was not aware. But I woke up this morning and in true KCB fashion, I am barely awake. But I wanted to watch this as soon as I could, because I've been trying to like avoid spoilers and stuff for the 1.1. I will pin codes in the top comment. I'll try and do that. That way you guys can just copy and paste them maybe, rather than putting them on screen. We'll try that. We'll try that this time. But let's watch. If you don't know what Honkai Star Rail is, by the way, it's like Fire Emblem Three Houses and Genshin Impact had a baby, and then they sent that baby into space, and then there were Honkai Impact characters named in space with said baby. That's basically what it is. The combat's great. The writing is great. Even the voice acting and like the mouth matchup, really solid. So it is good. It is good, and it's a genuinely good free to play experience. I can attest to that. Anyway, let's watch.
You're talking
that
about
I did not.
Hacker girl, right? Silverwolf. I heard she infiltrated the Shinjo's systems.
Wait, so this is like a skit?
Like this one?
Exactly, just like.
Yo, is that how they introduced her trailer?
This place is different from the rest of the space station. We're on Genius Society turf.
Oh, that was clever.
All right, let's get going.
That's a clever switch. I love that.
We're looking for. It's a bait signal.
Dude, there's so much happening on my screen right now.
You can challenge the space station, but challenge me? Good luck.
I don't like her.
To Billabong's History
She's a mean puppet.
Museum.
New spot?
See, the interior looks brand new,
Who was that?
but we're in a bit of a bind.
Who was Butterfly Person?
Our exhibit was stolen.
Wait, is this a new event? Who was that? What is happening?
Let me take a look.
Dude, Hoyo is so good with trailers.
Suspects.
I'm excited and confused at the same time, and I don't know why.
Let's settle this. Enough talk.
He's cool. I'm a fan. Well, my boy. The one carrying me in all my content. Well. This has to be some like a raid event, maybe?
Allow me to give you a dignified end.
Galactic roaming. Oh no, is that just the banner? Bruh. What just happened? So she might actually be worth pulling for. When it comes to Star Rail, I'm really just focused on like filling out roles for team comps.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the first time we saw this mysterious girl was back at the start of the story.
That's
Nihility.
right. It's
Interesting.
hard to keep an air of mystery when you're the first one on the scene.
She's
but-
Quantum.
What's with all the gaming paraphernalia?
Oh,
She's a
I didn't even
gamer.
ask that too. A console here, controller buttons there. It's a vibe.
Well, this probably won't come as a surprise to
She's a
anyone,
gamer.
But she's a gamer. In
Told ya.
fact, she sees the universe as a
Mhm.
game in itself, and she's playing to win.
She actually uses a lot of gamer slang in conversation. Not everyone picks up on it, though.
I kind of want to know.
Got it. So it's fair to say she's kind of a nerd?
Wow.
You could say that. She's also not great at socializing.
Oh,
Really?
looking along great.
She always struck me as pretty outgoing.
I guess she does have a lot of friends.
Hold up a second. She's an outgoing nerd with poor social skills and a lot of friends.
Contradictory.
That's quite the combo.
Well, if you struggle to make friends, why not create your own?
That has
Melissa,
not
you're talking about
been my
imaginary
experience in
friends,
life.
right?
I'm gonna keep it a
not
buck.
sure that counts.
Oh. Okay, let me explain. I'm talking about the AI modules in her weapons. See these little guys on her character artwork?
Oh, that's what those are?
Friend. There's Devil. This one over here is White Collar. Oh, and this one's Servant.
Aw,
I
they're so
I
cute.
don't know who's who.
Yeah, they're pretty adorable. When Silverwolf talks about her team of professionals, she's talking about these guys. Well, Silverwolf is a quantum-type character following the path of nihility. She can apply different debuffs to enemies to improve her allies' combat superiority.
Yeah, I heard she's really good at
Her
debuff.
skill can inflict a weakness on
Like,
enemies.
really good in
The
terms
weakness
of
she
she's
inflicts
going to be a
matches an
unique
ally's
character.
attack type.
Which is to say that even if nobody on her team has an attack type which matches an enemy's weakness, Silverwolf can create a weakness
Yeah,
that
that's
will
pretty tight.
correspond to an ally's existing strength.
That's pretty tight.
Exactly. In addition, every one of Silverwolf's attacks has a chance of inflicting the enemy with a random bug. There are 3 kinds of bugs, which reduce the enemy's attack,
Dude.
defense, and speed, respectively.
Okay.
That is a
Outside of
unique
combat,
trait that I think is
Silverwolf
worth
can
pulling
use a
for.
technique
Like,
to attack
genuinely.
an enemy and enter battle. Regardless
Like,
of enemy weakness,
Genuine
she deals
is
damage
cool.
to all
And
enemies
I
reduces
did-
their toughness.
If Silverwolf
did
breaks
really
enemies'
want
weakness
him.
with her technique, it triggers the
But
quantum
ultimately,
break effect,
he's
right?
like,
Yes, that's right. What
he
I'm
is a
saying
lightning
to-
AoE.
Oh, her ultimate.
And I have somebody who can do that
Silverwolf's
already.
ultimate has a high chance of reducing the enemy's defense in addition
Serval
to
is
dealing
decent,
damage.
right?
I love that animation. It's like something out of a rhythm game, right?
I don't think anybody is going to be able to do
What you
this
mean by the universe being a game to her?
as a different character.
Mhm.
Lacha, I don't really know anything about. I just think he's cool. Because I met him in the story. But I guess when you're paired up on a banner with Silverwolf, who is like relatively really unique,
Straight off the bat, man knows how to dress. Elegant look.
you're probably not getting a lot of...
They say
talk
he's
time.
hiding the secret.
Oh, he's
What do
imaginary.
you think? Good guy or villain?
He seems very suspicious.
Really? How so?
Well, imagine some guy waltzes into your hometown dressed like an aristocrat from another planet, but he knows all the local customs. You'd be a little taken aback, right?
Hey, I think you're being a little hard on the guy.
Interesting.
Some tourists do their research.
Uh-huh. Well, don't you think his healing
True.
abilities are a little mysterious?
It is appropriate as a tourist to understand and respect
Yeah,
the
if
culture
I'm a traveler merchant, I'm gonna want
that you're
some
walking
skills
into.
under my belt.
He carries
I
a
feel
giant
this guy
coffin.
Already made his fortune. Maybe traveling merchant is just what super
We're not gonna
rich
talk about that?
tourists like to tell people.
Jeez, you guys have an answer for everything. Is this the Lacha fan club or something?
Ooh,
Yes.
let's start one.
Yeah.
Well, what about the coven he carries around with him?
Thank
Nothing
you.
out of the ordinary there, right?
Yeah, you got me there. Why don't we take a look at his ability?
Ooh, now
Yay!
Lacha
Even though I
is
probably
an
won't pull for him.
imaginary type character following the path of abundance. For a man with medical knowledge, it's not surprising that he's strong on protection. He can offer healing too and dispel debuffs from his
Oh,
allies.
interesting. Okay.
For example, Lacha's skill can restore an ally's HP.
Yeah, I guess I knew that
When the
already.
HP of any ally
Again,
falls
from the
below a
story.
certain percentage,
I just kinda forgot
Lacha
about it.
uses his skill on them without consuming any skill points. This effect can be triggered again after a set number of turns.
Emergency healing, huh? Important for team survival.
Sure is.
I mean,
After
that's a
unlocking
nice
the special
niche to
traits,
have.
Using Lacha's skill also
Currently, we have
dispels
one
a
healer,
debuff from an ally.
who is Natasha.
Using Lacha's ultimate,
But
Death Wish,
to heal,
dispels one buff
you
from
gotta either
and
pop
deals
her ultimate
imaginary damage to all
or
enemies.
use a skill point.
In other words, If you've got an enemy that's always buffing themselves, or
Which
keep buffing their
currently
allies,
all the
Lacha has an important role to
all the
play.
big scary characters
Precisely. And
are
here's something else.
skill point
Every time
thirsty,
Lacha uses
so.
his skill or ultimate, he grants himself 1 stack of Abyss Flower. Now, when the Abyss Flower reaches a certain number of stacks, Lacha deploys a field against the enemy, which lasts for a set number of turns. When the field is active, allies recover a set amount of HP.
Yeah,
whenever
that's
they
pretty
make an
tight.
attack. And that's not all.
That's pretty
After
tight.
unlocking a special trace, attacks against enemies in the field can restore ally HP.
Cool. It's like a force field of healing.
During exploration, when Lacha uses his
Yeah,
technique
we didn't
to
need a
kill
better
food,
healer.
His field will be immediately generated at the start of the next battle.
Sheesh. Mr. Lacha. Mysterious origins and extraordinary skills.
Yukong. Ooh, she's a bow. Not that that really matters, because weapons are light cones. Typically. Wait, is she a 4-star?
There's somebody else here we gotta get to.
Oh, she is a
I'm talking
4-star.
About the elegant, sky-faring Hellmaster, Madame Yukon.
About time, too! Well, from commerce, cargo, passengers, all the way through to the Air Force, the Skyfaring Commission is in charge of all matters relating to flight. YUKONG is the head of that commission, so the above falls right under her remit.
Nice. Speaking of flight, it seems like star skiffs are the most emblematic means of transportation on the Xianzhou.
Yeah, they're a common sight.
she
in
is
the Xianzhou
also
skies.
imaginary.
Yukon can fly them, right?
But is Harmony
I'd say
bad?
she's pretty handy with a star skiff. YUKONG is an imaginary type character following the path of harmony. Her
Nice.
skill Emboldening Salvo grants her 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstrings. When Roaring Bowstrings is active, the attack of all allies increases.
Oh, she
YUKONG
buffs.
loses 1 stack of Roaring Bowstrings with every allied turn.
In other words, Yukong's skill can increase allies' attack for 2 turns.
You got it.
I like
During
that.
exploration, using YUKONG's technique increases her movement speed for a set time. It
Ooh,
also allows her to obtain 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstrings.
She's a
at the start of
taxi.
The next battle.
Ooh, sounds like a good recipe for shaking off enemy pursuers.
Using YUKONG's basic attack triggers her talent.
So I know at
7
some point
layers, 1 arrow.
I'm gonna
which deals
need
additional
2
damage
teams.
and increases the toughness reducing damage of the current attack. This effect
already
will be
have 1
triggered
buff.
again after a set number of turns.
Ah.
When YUKONG
She could be
unleashes her
2 buff.
ultimate, Diving Kestrel, she deals
I'm
imaginary
just justifying
damage to a
pulling for her in
single
my head.
target.
That's all.
If Roaring Bowstrings is active, its effect
Don't
is
mind me.
enhanced, increasing the crit rate and crit damage of all allies. Her days on the front lines may be over, but Yukong's skills didn't go anywhere.
We got 2 imaginary
Maybe one
characters in
day
this? That's
we'll
kind
get
of
to see her
crazy.
Take flight once again.
During the first phase of version 1.1 in the character warp, Contract 0, Trailblazers can obtain
Okay.
the limited 5-star character Silver Wolf.
Dan
In
Hung,
the same
Asta,
phase in the light cone
and
event
Serval.
warp, the
Curious.
drop rate of the 5-star light cone Incessant Rain will be boosted. Now during the second
I can
phase
use
of
these.
version 1.1 in
Oh,
the
Yukong's on the
character
second
pursuit,
banner.
Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Lacha and 4-star character Yukon. During the same phase, in the Light Cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star Light Cone Echoes of the Coffin will be boosted. I forgot to mention, when version 1.2 rolls around, Trailblazers can take part in an in-game event to obtain the 4-star character Yukong for free.
We're getting Yukong for free in 1.2.
Details for this event will be announced through official channels in the not-too-distant future.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh, awesome.
Whew.
Well,
Let's
that
take a break
changes
for a
things.
minute here, but when we
that
get
changes
back,
things a bit.
We'll be talking version 1.1.
Huh. Oh. Okay. Alright then. I need a strategy. I'm gonna have to come up with a bit of a strategy for this. As someone who doesn't have a lot of Stellar Jade at the moment.
New characters and light cones aside, version 1.1 has lots of events and gameplay updates.
That's good because we needed
Little
events.
Bird told me there's an event connected to Silver Wolf on the way.
I heard the same thing. At the start of the story, Kafka and Silverwolf invaded Herta's space station. Kafka's mission was to awaken the Trailblazer. Silverwolf's mission was to help Kafka infiltrate the space station's systems and locate the hidden Stellaron. But that wasn't enough.
I remember that.
For Silverwolf.
I was there for that.
I can believe that. She's been on the IPC's wanted list for as long as I can remember.
During the invasion, she left behind some kind of digital graffiti. Just her way of letting everyone know Silverwolf was here.
Way to rub it in their faces, Silverwolf.
That's why we have to find
Still,
it.
artists need an outlet.
This all sounds like
Interesting.
classic Silverwolf energy to me.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the name of her homeworld. Punk Lord. Kind of fitting, don't you think?
Do we get to go there?
No way.
Because
Afraid
that would be
so.
tight.
I think she was destined for this kind of behavior. Anyway, in the Star Hunt game event, the Trailblazers receive an invite from the space station's network security
Ooh,
engineer.
you could like them
Leonard.
too.
They have
That's
to help
tight.
Leonard locate the digital graffiti hidden across the station and uncover the secrets inside.
Wait, there are secrets hidden inside the graffiti? But if it's all digital... Oh,
We
I
have to
bet
go
he needs
inside the
video or
art.
something.
You might be right. We also get to meet a new Genius Society member, one of Madame Herta's collaborators, Screwlum. He'll be helping the Trailblazers
Dude.
too.
Boy, haven't we seen Screwlum before somewhere?
I think we saw a hologram portrait of him in his
Yeah.
office. He's a robot, right?
A robot Genius Society member. Interesting. I bet he's got a few hacker skills up his sleeve. If he's helping us out too, I'm sure we'll be fine.
You know what I found out? Silverwolf and Screwlum actually faced off against each other once.
Oh.
You can see a snapshot of their fight in the We
I
Will
wonder
Be
if that's going to
One
be like a
event.
suitable comparison like cone for her.
Screwlum, looking kind of handsome there.
Because that would be
Geez, his
tight.
portrait really doesn't do him.
Because I really don't like pulling for light cones.
If you and the Lyco need a moment here, the rest of us can head out.
I love a handsome robot.
I guess this event will be the second time Screwlum's come up against Silverwolf's mischief then. Old enemies locking horns once again.
Ooh, guess it does kind of feel like a rematch.
I gotta mention that graffiti again. Anyone else feel like it'd make for a good tattoo? I feel like some of these characters could...
You
pull off-
know
I don't
somebody's
think that
getting
feature's
tattooed
coming to Star
with
Rail
that art.
anytime soon.
100%.
Oh,
There's going to be some
oh,
Star Rail fan who
weird
gets a
that the
bunch of like
designs are
Silverwolf
collectible.
graffiti
The
as a
Trailblazer can
tattoo.
apply them to in-game surfaces and take photos with the artwork.
So cool.
Nice.
Collecting the graffiti designs also allows you to unlock the limited 4-star light cone before the
Oh.
tutorial mission starts.
This is probably what that
Complete
is.
the event mission to obtain Always Smiling, which can be exchanged in the event shop for limited light cone special superimposition material, as well as stellar jade.
Hey, that's another good-looking light cone. Not to change the subject or anything, but I gotta ask.
I don't like that they don't
Albert
tell us
merch I'm seeing over there.
what the light cones
I
do.
want one.
But, or even like, even if they just had like a
I introduced you to the
like a
IPC's
disclaimer or like a little chart that showed us what the light cone's functionality was supposed to be, like
Maybe let's just.
I would
get back to
appreciate that.
1.1 for now. In the
But-
story thus far, Belobog has finally emerged from the Stellaron
Eh,
shadow.
whatever.
But there's a lot left to do. The city is going through changes. Any of you guys want to shed some light?
I heard a thing or two. Now that the underworld and overworld are reconnected, things are definitely heading in a better direction. One
Yay.
recent development, Belobog's History Museum is getting ready to reopen to the public.
Museum? I love museums. Oh, don't you wish you could take the exhibits home with you, though?
The only problem is exhibits are being stolen. Anything you'd like to tell us, Melissa?
Oh, wait a minute. I only just found out they had a museum. How could it have been me?
I didn't say it was you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Prime suspect. Anyway, in the Everwinter City Museum Ledger of Curiosities event, the Trailblazer must help
I'm down for
Caleb
this.
track down clues and recover
As a
lost
former
exhibits.
museum
I
professional,
love a good whodunit.
I'm down for this.
Well, that's not all. The Trailblazer can take on managerial responsibilities and help run the place.
Huh.
Yes.
So what does that involve exactly?
I've always wanted to life simulate work when I'm
Trailblazers
not
can do
working.
things like collect exhibits and enlist other individuals to
Uh.
improve the overall experience for visitors. After
Gertie.
achieving
Gertie is
specific
100% the name of someone who
you can
works at a
accumulate
museum.
funds to expand the museum's exhibits
100%.
and unlock limited time rewards such as stellar jade, lost crystals, and self-modeling resin.
Sounds like fun. I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake.
Okay, I'm
When
into
the limited
this.
time event is
Not gonna lie.
over, the
I'm kinda
museum
into
will
this.
remain as a mode within the game. Trailblazers can return to the museum at any time to check out the collection and catch up with colleagues.
Of course, if you encounter any issues during the running of the museum, please.
Yes,
go ahead
leave
and
it in the
get in touch
game.
with the IP.
That's what I'm saying. All this limited stuff that Genshin does is so annoying sometimes.
Gotta get ahead of myself.
I'm glad that Hoyo is learning, like, how to make the experience better
Commercials for a living.
from, like, in my opinion, falling short in
Service.
Genshin
Maybe
on some
IPC
things.
should look into it.
And I'm
I'm sure our Trailblazers are more interested in the content of the new version. Let's get back on track.
All right.
Where's my
A
free
researcher
Yukon?
from the space
That's what I
station
want to know.
found a combat
Oh, there's
simulation
another
program of
one?
unknown origin called Stellar Flare.
Bruh.
Which contains a series of new challenge stages.
Okay, so this has to be battle themed, right?
More challenges?
We've had
Every stage in
exploration,
Stellar
we've had
Flare
life
has a
sim.
challenge theme and
This has to be a
corresponding
battle
special mechanism. Trailblazers
event.
will have to think outside the box and use any advantages
Yeah,
offered by the
okay,
mechanisms
there we go.
to complete the stage in as few turns as possible.
Hoyo likes to do events for everybody.
All to me.
The difference with Stellar Flare is that the special mechanisms might require completely new ways of thinking about combat. For example, in
Dude,
some
watching the
stages,
combat in
using
normal
skill
speed,
doesn't
it feels so
consume skill
slow.
points. In others, damage dealt when breaking an enemy's toughness
What's he
is
doing here?
increased, but the enemy's toughness will be
What's my man's
immediately
doing here?
restored.
Sounds pretty cool, but
Oh, he's a
I'm
trial
sure
character.
Silverwolf will take care of it in one turn.
What if I haven't leveled up enough characters? Is it impossible for me to complete the challenge?
Now you get
Or,
trials.
To assist Trailblazers in completing the challenge, every Stellar Flare stage has a trial character suited to the theme.
You don't say.
Dude, they have level 70 characters?
The
What?
Garden of Plenty event. Recently, the
Bro,
Cosmos
I need to
entered
play
a
through this game.
turbulent cycle,
What the heck?
and the calyxes are unusually active.
There's
The
another
reality
one?
data contained within them has grown exponentially.
Oh, this is like a bonus
Which
mats. Okay.
means-
It means that over a fixed time period, Trailblazers have a set number of daily attempts to
I
obtain
hope
double the
that they do
rewards
this
and
every
calyxes.
patch.
Leveling up, here we come.
From what I've heard,
the next event we're going to talk about
from
is called Lab
players-
Assistance in Position.
dude, there's
Lynn
more?
Schilling is a Department of Implement Arts researcher on Herta Space
From what I've
Station.
heard from players who are further ahead than I am, the resource gap gets
However,
crazy.
The Antimatter Legion's invasion has
Dude,
met
there's
with
more.
progress.
We're
As a
into
result,
July
Lynn
with
Schilling
this
has
event.
asked the Trailblazer to help her
Bruh.
collect monster materials for use in her research topic. If the Trailblazer collects and submits the experimental materials required on a given day, they can receive corresponding rewards.
I got a question, Dawn.
Fire away.
These are Space Station and Bellabog events, right? Aren't there any events or missions on the Xianzhou Luofu?
You beat me to it.
Oh,
That's exactly what I was about to bring up. In version 1.1, 3 new companion missions are destined for the Xianzhou Luofu. These missions will involve Bailu,
Dude, there's
Yanqing,
so
and
much
Luofu.
content.
As for the specifics,
There's
I'm
so
gonna
much
keep that a secret for
content,
now.
though.
We can't go spoiling all the fun, can we?
what? Not even one detail?
Come on, Don. Can
I'm
you
dying
just
out here.
something?
The check-in event Gift of Odyssey will also be arriving in version 1.0.
Bro.
For the length of this version, as long as Trailblazers log in for 7 days, they can acquire
Bro.
10 Star Rail special passes.
10 free warps? Nice.
Version 1.1 will
Bro.
also see some system updates. When Trailblazers need to obtain leveling materials that only a certain type of enemy can produce, they can instantly teleport to an area where the enemy is present, as well as pinpoint the precise location of the enemy on the map with a
Events,
marker.
Sounds like a
unique
real
character
time
functions,
saver.
Wait until you hear this.
quality of
Once
life.
the enemy in question is defeated, the marker will
10
automatically
free
lead to
pulls.
the location of the
Unlimited.
next enemy. After all marked enemies on a map have been defeated, Trailblazers can continue to pinpoint enemies on
This
other
is
maps.
this is how you
This
run a
process
game.
Can be repeated until all
This is how you run a
spawn
free-to-play
enemies of
game.
A certain type have been defeated.
Oh, that's a lifesaver. I barely found my way to the studio today.
There's also a small combat surprise in store.
Oh.
During combat, trotters that have lost their way may randomly enter battle. As long as the trotter is defeated before it manages to flee,
Oh, that's tight.
additional leveling materials can be obtained.
Enemy geolocation and additional material opportunities? Devs, I owe you one.
Last but not least, in order to help Trailblazers
Dude.
stay in touch, version 1.1
This is wild.
also has a friend chat function.
I don't really
So,
have any
aside
friends,
from helping
so...
friends through support assist, we can send them messages too?
You got it. Doesn't
But
matter
that's
if they're old
nice.
companions or new acquaintances.
That's
That's the
nice
spirit
that,
of
that
trailblazing
friends
right
can
there.
play. Given that we're literally going into 1.1, is a little surprising. Most of the time when games like this get off the ground, they don't really start ramping up immediately.
Well, time flies when you're having fun. Looks like our special program has come to an end.
Okay, we are at the end.
Darn.
But as the first guest on the program, you guys got any thoughts, reflections, complaints?
Oh, it's been an honor to be on the show, Albert. I gotta say, we covered a lot of ground.
I do like Albert.
Now I'm even more excited for the update.
That's my official stance.
Fingers crossed I get Silverwolf.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, seriously, same.
Greg, how you feeling?
Dude, there was
I
so
feel like
much
I've got
good
more
in
questions
this.
than I came in with.
There was so much
What
good
new
in this.
directions will Lacha take the
I
story?
want more.
Who's stealing exhibits
I'm
from the
overwhelmed
museum?
by the amount
What
that's
about those
coming.
companion missions.
I actually feel
We'll have to
engaged
find out
with the
answers
game.
Yeah.
And like, no offense to Genshin, but that's something that I haven't felt
Pleasantly surprised.
with
I've seen a
Genshin
lot of
Impact
Yukon
for a
up to
while now.
but this was the first time I got to understand her moves and roll on the battlefield.
But this is crazy.
She's so cool.
For a 1.1 update,
Then again,
That's a lot
I
of
guess I
stuff.
kinda am her.
that's like a lot of
Double
stuff.
check there for a second, huh? Well, that's it for the Honkai
I'm
Star
hyped.
Rail version 1.1 special program.
Oh, there's
I
still
wanna
more.
Thank all you Trailblazers today for tuning in, and hey, we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye, Albert, and everyone else.
Later, guys.
Wait, do we have more? There's a solid 10 seconds. Oh, no.
You
probably.
didn't think it was over.
It's not over. June 5th? Oh, that's tight. I knew it. I knew they were gonna do something. I knew they were gonna do something, bro. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. I loved that. That was great. That was an incredible 1.1 update. That was just a great update in general. Honestly, like, if every version update is going to be like that for Star Rail, this game's going to go the distance 100%. And I love that, because the dev team, everybody who's involved in this game, I can tell that they take a lot of like initiative and like passion. They put a lot of passion into the game, just based on the writing and everything else. So I will happily play this game. I love it. If you haven't tried it yet, I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm not like a Hoyoverse partner or anything like that. But if you haven't tried it and you do like turn-based, you know, like your Fire Emblems and things like that, give it a shot. For real, on God. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll probably be streaming later today, so hop on in if you want to get caught up on everything that's happened over the last 3 weeks when I haven't been live. And yeah, that's it. If you're looking forward to 1.1, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.